Hello and welcome back to the top 85 games for the BBC Micro Video Countdown series. In at number 41, it's Paperboy. This was released in 1987 by Elite Games and it was developed by Andrew G. Williams. Now, this was actually an official port of the 1985 Atari game, so unlike some of the other games that we've seen in the series, it wasn't simply inspired by or a sort of slightly unofficial clone of an arcade game. This one was actually released with the official rights to do so. And the 1985 Atari game started its life as an arcade cabinet game, as a lot of them did, with a set of handlebars actually to play the game in the arcade cabinet. So instead of having a joystick, it was an actual set of handlebars there at the front. I believe it was based on existing hardware that had previously been used for certain Star Wars arcade games. But anyway, we're going to be taking a look at Paperboy as it existed for the BBC Micro and the Acorn Electron. So let's take a look. Okay, here we have it. Paperboy, and proudly proclaiming the fact that this is indeed the officially licensed computer version of the Atari arcade game. There's Andy Williams' name there. Just some fairly straightforward instructions. So essentially left, right, accelerate and brake. Obviously, if you want to go a little bit faster, you can hold down shift and forward, and that will give you turbo speed. And then the all-important enter or return to throw the paper. So, what's it all about? There we go, nice little bit of the Daily Sun there, which is the fictional newspaper for Paperboy. All right, let's make a start. Oh, that's it. If it'll let me start. There we go. A bit sticky on the spacebar there. Okay, Monday. Have a nice day. Well, we'll see, shall we? So you can see my stock of papers there. Now, basically, the basic premise of the game, oh dear, hang on, let's avoid that person, is that you need to deliver the papers to the people who've got a little paper box outside. But for people who are not subscribers, you need to do as much damage as possible to their home. This is an interesting sales strategy from Paperboy. I'm not sure if the idea is to simply do sort of wreak vengeance on people who've decided not to be subscribers. But that seems to be the premise of the game. So there we go, just trash their house there. And of course, you can pick up papers as you go. So if you run out of your stock of papers from doing too much damage, you can do so. You can see my bonus in the bottom right there. So if I do damage to a subscriber's house, my bonus goes down, obviously. Oh, I'd run out of papers. Oh dear. Obviously, you need to really try and prioritize delivering papers to the people that are expecting to receive them. But you can kind of go hell for leather, really, on anyone that isn't. I haven't quite worked out if, oh dear, I'm starting to do damage to a subscriber's house there. Best not do that. There we go. Oh dear. Now, when you crash, it does this sort of mini accelerate, which you can't avoid doing. Oh, I'm quite sure what that gentleman's up to there. Yes, you have to sort of make sure that you don't crash just as you're about to come up to a subscriber's house. Otherwise, unfortunately, you will miss their paper box. Oh, this isn't a subscriber, is it? Let's break some windows. So it's a great game. I mean, obviously Paperboy is fairly famous as an arcade game. Not everybody is a fan of the BBC Micro and the Acorn Electron port of it. I mean, obviously part of that I think is down to the fact that it's a fairly monochrome color scheme, just the yellow and blue here. Although, as I've remarked in previous videos of Maelstrom and others, I actually quite like the simplistic color scheme on certain games, and I don't think it counts against Paperboy at all. But yes, it's a little bit slower, I suppose, if we're being brutally honest, than the arcade version. It's quite a sort of I was going to say pedestrian pace, but obviously he is on a bicycle, so that wouldn't be quite the right description. But oh dear. Yes, I don't know, it's quite a gentle game in its funny sort of way, and I quite like the fact that it's not too fast paced. I have quite a soft spot for games that are not too fast because, well, it kind of suits my gameplay to a certain extent because I'm not great on the reflexes when it comes to arcade games. Oh dear, get well soon, Paperboy. One crash too many. I do like the fact that the Paperboy himself is front page news for the newspaper. That's It's rather special. Right, let's just zoom across this junction and let's get that delivered. There we go. But yes, it's an enjoyable game. As I say, I like the slightly slower pace of it. I mean, if you want to go faster, of course, you've got the turbo speed that you can initiate yourself. Um, Plenty of obstacles to avoid. Obviously, it's very much a game of avoiding the obstacles as much as anything else. There are plenty of people out to get Paperboy, including that little child there in his go-kart. I think it's safe to say it's quite American in style. This idea of sort of hurling the newspaper from the bicycle. I mean, I had a paper round when I was a child and, well, teenager, I should say. But yes, I don't think I'd have got away with just lobbing the paper at the houses that I was due to deliver to. From seeing certain American films, I believe that is sort of standard practice for paper boys over there, as they just kind of lob the paper as they go by. Mind you, it takes a lot of skill, I suppose, to actually lob it and get it into the box, as you would need to do here. But yes, I mean the houses certainly look pretty American. I mean, they're huge. So I certainly didn't grow up in a house as big as that, and it seems like every house along this road is massive. So it certainly hints at the American lifestyle there. Okay, ooh, another road junction. Ooh, oh dear. And what I'm hoping to do is at least get us to the end of one round's worth of deliveries, because then we get to take on the rather enjoyable. I'm not quite sure what the name of it is. A sort of practice run of how fast you can get around the obstacle course, which is really good entertainment. Get a nice little bit of extra music as well when you get to that bit. Okay, so there's that chap again. I think he's operating a pneumatic drill, but yes, it's slightly peculiar animation there. Oh no, was that my last heart? Oh, dear, I'm gonna have to try that again, I think. There you go, get well soon, Paperboy. Too many crashes. Monday, have a nice day. Now, I have to say, I enjoy the game. I don't have a huge track record of success with it. I think I've managed to get as far as Wednesday. I think that's probably the furthest I've ever got with Paperboy. So I've never managed to see through an entire week's worth of Paperboy deliveries. I'd be interested to hear from anybody who perhaps has had better success than me, if you can call Wednesday a success. I'm not sure many people would if you don't get to the end of the week. Oh dear, I should really not come up onto the pavement at that point, should I? Keep repeating the mistakes of previous attempts. Right, let's do some maximum damage here. There we go. Oh, I'm all out of papers now. Now you see, it's no good trying to pick up the papers over there, because you will instantly crash if you do that. So I'm afraid we're going to have to miss out that delivery. Yes, I don't know whether the game really loses that much from not being full color. I mean, I know obviously you wouldn't get away with that kind of thing in today's gaming market, to have a monochrome game. But I don't know. Maybe because I've got good memories of playing it. I actually quite like the yellow and blue. It's quite a nice look. Um, It goes to show that it's only really sort of in recent years, learning a bit more about some of these games, that I even realised that Paperboy was not a BBC Micro original game. I mean, I suppose I should have picked up the fact that it said an officially licensed edition of the Atari game at the front, but I recently came across a version of it for the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the Famicom, and my initial thought was, oh, I'd never realised that they brought BBC Micro games across to the NES, and then realised, no, actually, I was kind of looking at it the wrong way round. Actually, it was an Atari game, not a BBC Micro game in origin. But there you go. That's you live and learn. Obviously, I was a fairly young Beeb and Acorn Electron user, so for me, if it existed for the Beeb, that essentially meant that it was a Beeb game. I didn't really sort of understand the world of arcade clones and all the rest of it, unless I had happened to play the game in an arcade, of course, which I have had some limited experience of that. Not as much as I would have liked. I do look on with a certain amount of jealousy when I see arcades depicted in 80s movies. I think, yeah, it would have been great fun to have experienced that firsthand. But at the age of about 4 or 5, I don't think my parents would have been too happy leaving me alone in the arcades. I think I would have burnt through quite a lot of pocket money doing that. Ah, here we go. Now here's the track. Just need to make sure I don't fall over. Ooh, come on, Paperboy. Another jump. Come on, make it over the ladder. Oh no. Now the problem with the resistance track, obstacle course, is that if you crash, that's it. So I wasn't really making much use of those targets, the bullseyes either. You can throw papers at those for extra points. Anyway, we've made it to Tuesday, so not too bad. I mean, not great, let's be fair, but at least it's a little bit further than just Monday, which is all I've managed to do up to this point. And we've got a little change of colour here now. We're just with white and blue, so there you go. You get a bit of variation on the colour scheme front, even if it remains monochrome. It was actually quite a favoured tactic of Beeb game programmers back in the day that if you knew that you didn't have the memory to have a full sort of 16 colour display, you could at least play around with your sort of two colours that you were able to use. So you could switch them up for something a bit different. So you see that in games like Imogen and Spellbinder. Spellbinder actually does it between different rooms as well, which is quite clever. In Paperboy, obviously, we get it for different days of the week. So must mind that dog. Very tiny dog, isn't it? I mean, look at it compared to the size of that tire. Must be pretty little. Oh, not even sure what that was. Looks like some kind of toy. There we go. Right, let's grab those papers. Now this doesn't look like a subscriber, does it? Let's do some trashing. There we go. It's interesting, when I looked up this game to get a few details from the BBC Micro Games Archive website, it actually had it classified as a side-scrolling shooter, which, I mean, in a funny sort of way, it is. If you abstract away from the fact that it's a chap on his bicycle delivering papers, actually what you're doing is you're shooting at things and avoiding other fighters, if you like, albeit that some of them are dogs and tires and other random obstacles. But yes, it actually kind of made me rethink what the game, what it is, seeing it classified like that. It's quite interesting to think of it as a side-scrolling shooter. I haven't really seen it in those terms before, but it kind of makes sense. There we go. Run out of papers again. All right, let's see if we can get some more. Oh no! I was going too fast for my own good there. Oh, now I can't make my delivery. That's going to count against my final score, sadly. Never mind. Okay, we've got some fresh papers now, so let's do a bit of damage here. I think that's a bird bath, isn't it? You're just popping a paper on the bird bath there. It's funny that, in a way, that you should get points for doing that, because, I mean, you're essentially wasting your supply of papers, and albeit that they're going through the window, you are actually delivering a paper to someone who's not subscribed for it, so there you go. Not sure how the proprietors would feel about that. Well, maybe it is a sort of guerrilla marketing strategy of like basically ensuring that you get the paper, and then perhaps the idea is that people will read it having had it thrown through their window and decide that yes, they in fact, on balance, they would like to subscribe and receive the paper in the conventional way rather than having it thrown through the window. Okay, so I think we're up to the end of Tuesday here, so let's go for the obstacle course again. Oh, what an amazing start, straight into a road cone. Okay, well, there's my daily report there. Managed to make 3 deliveries. Okay, so this is Wednesday, which, as I said at the start, this is probably about as far as I think I've ever managed to get with Paperboy, but I've still got 2 hearts to go, so not too bad. You can see the colour scheme has changed ever so slightly, so we've gone for sort of hues of different shades of blue this time, so not quite the same as previously. I have to say I like the yellow and blue from Monday. That's my favourite. I think of the different colour schemes. Mind you, I say that, of course, I've not experienced all the different colour scheme variations, having not got past Wednesday, so it's possible that there may be even more appealing colour schemes out there. But I think I like the yellow and blue from Maelstrom. That's probably where I get the liking for it from. Now, I'm not going to go for that pile of papers because I will instantly crash if I do that. So let's see if we can get some from further along. Yeah, the logic of those stacks of papers, I have to say, doesn't make a huge amount of sense because you seem to be collecting a big stack of them from outside a property to whom you then deliver maybe one paper. Um, and in fact, in some cases, the papers are piled up against houses who actually haven't subscribed. So I don't really know why the papers are there to begin with. Oh dear. All right, are we going? Oh no. Oh, I was really hoping we might get past Wednesday there. Oh well, get well soon, Paperboy. Well, let's give it one more go, eh? I mean, I feel like we should maybe give it at least another try. There we go, back to the yellow and blue, my preferred. Oh, oh dear, well, not a great start, is it? Missed my first subscriber as well. Oh dear, it was a mistake. Got too overconfident. Getting to Wednesday. Oh no. I think at this rate I'm going to have to give it another go, having said we'll give it one more go, because this is not giving a great showcase of the game if I end up dying on Monday before even getting to the obstacle course. Right, there we go. There are obviously different strategies to playing the game. I mean, I think if you want to focus on points, you do need to pay attention to who you're delivering to. And oh, there we go. Right, yes, we are going to give that one more go because I don't think that was a very good showcase there. Yes, you could just focus on delivering to the houses that you need to and just basically speed past the rest. But then you do miss out on those bonus vandalism points. And let's face it, the vandalism of Paperboy is half the fun. I mean, when I was a child playing this game, I don't think I really understood the difference between subscribers and non-subscribers, and I used to just pelt every house, do as much damage as possible. Of course, that does count against you when you start damaging the houses of people that you're meant to be delivering to. But there you go. Yes, I mean it's great fun, isn't it? Especially as a child. Let's face it, throwing stuff through windows. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy that? It's half the fun of being a child, isn't it? There's that scene in Pinocchio where the kids are allowed to run riot and trash up houses and smash plates and so on, and they have a great old time of it. So, says something about human nature there, of course, but it's probably a bit too philosophical for a game review like this. Right, let's break some windows here. Try and avoid that chap there who, if we're being charitable, is doing some sort of roadworks. Okay, ooh, wow, I was quite fortunate there. I thought I was going to get pranged by that tyre. The tyres and the footballs are probably my least favourite of the obstacles on Paperboy because they're a bit erratic in terms of where they go. Also, these junctions can be a bit of a nightmare if you don't apply your turbo speed in the right place. I'm not quite sure why people have got gravestones in their gardens, if I'm honest. That does seem a little bit macabre, and there's rather a lot of it going on as well. I mean, it's not just one or two. I mean, look at that. It's like a full-on family graveyard going on there. It's not sure if that. Don't think that's an American tradition in houses in general to have. Oh dear. Oh no! Look at my bonus. Went right down there for doing that damage. Oh dear. Right, let's deliver one here. Okay. There we go. We can do some damage to this house, can't we? Oh no! No! Don't crash there. Oh, and I missed a delivery as well. Oh dear! Oh dear. Yes, look at those headstones there. Well, I say they're headstones. I mean, if they were genuine headstones, I don't think they'd break like that if you threw a newspaper at them. But yeah, I don't know what they're supposed to be. I mean, I can't think what else you'd have in your garden that would look like that. It's really odd. Really odd. Let's say the old bird baths. I think I just about understand what those are supposed to be. Oh, run out of papers again. Oh dear. Ah, no, I've run out of papers just as I come up to the obstacle course. That's a shame. Hoping to do a bit of bullseye smashing on this. There we go. Come on, Paperboy, you can do it. That's it. Right, now the idea is to get through this as quickly as possible. I think. Got a timer there at the bottom, which has replaced my bonus. Come on. There we go. Over the ladder and over the. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, so actually it's, yeah, once the timer runs out, that's it. Right, daily report. Well, Not too shabby. It was a bit better than previous reports when I only had 3 houses. Alright, so we've made it to Tuesday. We only got 1 heart though, so I don't hold out a lot of hope of reaching Wednesday, and certainly not getting past Wednesday. I don't know in Paperboy what you need to do to get a top up of those hearts. I don't. Oh dear, that's the football. Oh no! I tried to avoid the football and hit the fence. Oh well. Get well soon, Paperboy. Well, I think not only 1 crash too many, but perhaps 1 playthrough too many there. So I think we will call it a day with Paperboy. Hope you've enjoyed that. I really like Paperboy. I think it's a fun game. Might not be the best version of it out there, but as a BBC Micro fan, it's my favourite. So I make no apologies for that. And anyway, as I say, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you have enjoyed watching Paperboy. If this is the first time of seeing it for the Beeb, do leave me a comment if you would like to share your memories of playing this game. And otherwise, I hope you'll join me for the next video in the series. Until then, goodbye.